This video is brought to you by cdkeys.com, where you can get a plethora of Windows and video game related keys very cheap. Most of you guys are probably looking to get a cheap copy of Windows 10 Pro. You can get a copy using the code MUS to save an additional 30%. You can get Windows 10 Pro OEM for $15.50, Windows 10 Pro Home OEM for $12.50, Office 2019 discounted, Office 26 discounted. You can get bundles with Windows 10 and Office. You can even get Windows 11. I'll leave links in the description box below. Once you get your key, it's easy to redeem and you'll be on your merry way. Links in the description box down below. Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and in this video I want to take a look at the Steam Awards and also an interesting stat about Steam breaking another record, and that is for concurrent user base. This is a stat that they've been breaking the record of quite consistently for the last few years, but I find it even more interesting, and I haven't really talked about that in the video. We'll get into it in a little bit. On top of that, some good deals on Humble to round the video out. But first of all, let's take a look at the Steam Awards. Really, none of the awards handed out did I think were too egregious. Game of the Year was Resident Evil Village, and you gotta remember this is a vote, so more popular games are going to have a little bit of an edge, but Game of the Year was Resident Evil Village, which, you know, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was my Game of the Year, but it definitely was one of my more liked games of the year, one of my favorite games of the year, I think it would be easy to say. Like, as far as PC games go, I really enjoyed Tales of Arise. Forza Horizon 5, of course, was up there. I really dug Halo Infinite. I played the hell out of Halo Infinite's multiplayer. Haven't delved into the campaign too much, but, you know, from all accounts, that's really good. But the multiplayer has really, you know, been engaging to me. But Resident Evil Village is as good of a pick as you're gonna make. So, yeah, I think that goes with, without saying that's a pretty good pick. VR Game of the Year, Cooking Simulator VR. Labor of Love is Terraria, which that makes sense. Better with Friends. Slam dunk one here, It Takes Two. Outstanding visual style, Forza Horizon 5 did win this. Most innovative gameplay, Deathloop. Best game you suck at, Neo 2, the complete edition. Best soundtrack, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, and yes, that game does have an awesome soundtrack. Outstanding story-rich game, Cyberpunk 2077. Kind of surprised that won, but you gotta remember, that game, even with the flack it gets online, it's still an incredibly popular game. A lot of people did buy it. And it seems like that this is going to be one of those games in 5 to 6 years. People are going to be making, you know, their tweets and their social media posts. You know, was this game as bad as everybody said 5 to 6 years ago? And obviously it's going to be a better game than what came out at that point 5 to 6 years ago, but what came out in 2020. I do think it's going to be a game like that that's going to age decently well, especially, you know, once you let the disappointment of the game settle down and people move on to the next big thing that they're disappointed about. And at this point, that's already definitely happened. I think the reflection on Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be a lot different than the initial reaction in 2020. Sit back and relax. Winner was Farming Simulator 2022, yes. So, nothing too crazy as far as the awards go. I just think it's interesting to assess it. I think Resident Evil Village won just because a lot of people bought that game, first of all, and, you know, popularity does have something to do with it, but everybody loved the game, too. Like, the consensus opinion was Resident Evil Village was awesome. Yes, it was a game on the shorter side, but you also got to look at it, 45,000 Steam reviews, 95% of those reviews are overwhelmingly positive. Yeah, it's got an 83 on Metacritic, which isn't as positive as some of the other games, but from the consumer standpoint, I thought, like, everybody really enjoyed the game. At least anecdotally speaking, everybody that I talked to was really in love with that game. So I can see why it won. Alright, moving on from that, SteamDB got an interesting stat that I saw making the rounds a little bit. Recently, Steam, once again, I believe this was yesterday, January the 2nd, you know, people recovering from their actually, people would be recovering from their hangovers on January the 1st, usually. January the 1st is usually the recovery day, but January the 2nd, they hit a new milestone of 28 million concurrent users online, and in-game, it was 8.2 million that they hit that day, which I find to be a really interesting number. Now, obviously, it's not like all these people have, like, super high-end PCs. Anybody can download Steam. If you have a laptop from 2006, you can download Steam and you can play some of the games on there. However, it kind of goes to show that people are seemingly still buying PCs. They're still buying gaming PCs, and that goes with the increased price. And I've noticed that across, like, every field of entertainment or just consumer spending that maybe wouldn't be essential, especially in a time period where, you know, some people did get laid off, some people did have financial issues during the, you know, everything going on in the world during the pandemic, but, yeah, at the same time, it seems like a lot of industries have been absolutely booming, at the same time, which I think is a really interesting dichotomy. I think you can make a lot of assessments as to why that is. Like, I don't know if, like, everybody always tells me the stimmy checks, but the stimmy checks, let's be real about it. The stimmy checks weren't crazy. Like, people ain't popping off and buying $2,000 PCs just because they got a $1,200 stimmy check, especially if they had just lost their job. But, you know, there's a lot of factors to consider, and the stimmy check was so long ago that, you know, now we're talking about the happenings in 2021 into 2022, and obviously things are recovering, but we'll see how things progress. They did also break the record right around the time Halo Infinite came out, and that was a free-to-play release. It was Halo Infinite and Battlefield 2042 back-to-back, and I think that did cause a lot of people to surge up and get on Steam at the same time. So, yeah, just an interesting stat. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on why you think that might be. Do you think it's an influx of people, like, having higher-end gaming PCs and buying them? Or is it an influx of, you know, people that are just naturally still getting on Steam? They have their old computers. Steam is readily available on a lot of different platforms. It's not like it's just exclusive to Windows 11 high-end PCs. That's definitely not the case. And with the Steam Deck, it's going to be interesting if that adds a jolt to the Steam online user base as well, or if that's just going to be more of a crossover user base. Definitely something interesting to assess, if nothing else. Lastly, I do want to mention a couple of game deals on Humble. They have an anime sale going on right now, so if you're a weeaboo like me, Dragon Ball FighterZ 85% off, excuse me. Yeah, 85% off for $9 is a decent price. A lot of DLC in that game. Captain Tsubasa Rise of New Champions. Alright, that's $30. I'm not too familiar with Captain Tsubasa, to be perfectly honest, but I am familiar with Digimon and Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition. 70% off for $15 is a really good deal. Those games have a good amount of content, and to get both of those games, that's a collection of 2 games. $15 for that is a really good price. DBZ Kakarot, on the other hand, $19.79. Enjoyed my time with that game. Xenoverse 1 and 2 are deeply discounted as well. Xenoverse 1 at $6, Xenoverse 2 at $8. So some good deals all around from the anime sale. I would say the Digimon deal is probably the best one. Some of the deals on the Naruto games are pretty good. Ni no Kuni 2 for $9 is always a good deal, and do remember, if you have Humble Choice, you'll save a little bit extra on it as well on the games you pick up. So that's always pretty nice. I'll leave a link. I do get a kickback if you buy anything, so that's much appreciated. But that's going to do it for me. Again, Steam Awards, nothing too surprising there. Steam chart data, I think that is pretty interesting. And the anime sale on Humble's pretty good. Check it out over on Humble. That's going to do it for me. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.